everyone in between. How the heck are you? I am Diana Clarion, the Lavender Lady. This is Coffee with Lavender. How's everybody doing? Please excuse the look of the screen right now. I was planning on switching to Google Meet, which is part of G Suite. And unfortunately, yesterday I found out that G Suite would not let me use YouTube during its trial period. So I'm giving a shot here with StreamYard, which is what I gave a test for last night. And we'll see how that goes and see what happens from here. And okay, then. Today starts a little fundraising event here that we've got going, about 13 hours worth last I checked, maybe 14. Excuse me for a second. Our very own Doc Fearsome is in need of transportation to and from work in the form of a motor vehicle. Because he kind of lost his motor vehicle when it died, and talking about a 90-minute walk to work at midnight.
Just about, yeah.
Yeah. And not fun stuff. So here to help me talk about all this stuff is the one, the only, the brilliant, the beautiful Doc Fearsome. How the heck are you?
Oh, I'm hanging in there.
Oh, yay. For those who don't know you, as I would say, tell us what you do.
Well, I don't know. I sort of do my thing in the real, and then when I can escape from the real, I hang out in the YouTubes and lately a little bit the Twitters, and I don't know. I became a patron to a few YouTubers, and
none I would know. Right?
Oh, I don't know. We can probably guess, though.
Oh, maybe. And I thank you very much for that, by the way.
Oh, yeah. It's I kind of am trying to sort of support the the greater kind of humanist movement, and I figure it's kind of maybe a grassroots approach, but if I can support a few people I feel contribute to a humanist cause, whether they think they are or not, I just try to do something.
Well, thank you.
It's a small contribution, but if 1 million of us get together and contribute a little, then that's 1 million times a little, which should be a lot.
There we go.
If my math is correct.
I think I've got, 7 or 8. So all I need now is, 999,993 or 992 more. That'll do. Get the work.
That'll work.
Get the work out, sweetie. Let's get them started. No, but this is less about me than it is about you. How did you find the community? I'm curious.
It's a little bit of a journey because I don't really have a lot of like resources. Like I don't even my voice. I don't even own a computer. Sorry there, I had to guzzle some water.
Oh, that's no problem. You with the water, me with the coffee. It works.
Yo.
Enough about you.
So all I used to have was Xbox 360, but I was able to have a YouTube app where I could watch videos anyway, and I started probably back then getting into stuff like the ACA. I think there was some TJ Kirk back then.
Oh, I remember TJ.
And I had always had kind of mixed feelings about dude.
Yeah. Really?
But I don't know. I can't recall too many of them. I think I encountered Martimer. Was it Martimer 81 or 86
Yes.
or whatever his name?
Martimer 81. Oh my God.
81. Yeah.
I love him so dearly.
I think I encountered some of him back then because I had a friend who was like, "Hey, check out this spirit science stuff."
Yes, that's how
I'm like, "Oh, really?" I like didn't make it through one video, and I'm like, and but like Martimer popped up in the like one of the recommended videos after, and I got into him. So I don't know. I started realizing there was this sort of kind of atheist movement going on. I started learning about that, and I'm like, well, this is interesting. At this point, I had been several years away from any sort of religious affiliation, but just had been exploring the metaphysics and different thoughts and ideas I'd encountered over time.
Okay, fine.
But had for many years been pretty much, magic really isn't real. There really aren't any spirits. There really isn't a God. But I was, delighted to see that there is this sort of atheist community out there.
There we go. Sorry about that. I switched over to the screen here and noticed that I had forgotten to mute it.
No problem. I'm like getting froggy as hell over here. I don't talk this much usually. Oh, at least, not with my own voice.
Oh, thank you, Angie. Thank you so much.
But yeah, over time, I guess my technology has improved a little bit. I have the Xbox One, which allowed me to actually get in some sort of contact. I was able to actually get in on the side chats and shit. And I heard about Patreon, and I was like, oh, that sounds awesome. I really would like to be a patron. And it was probably a few months before I decided I was able to do it. I think I got into that, and finally I managed to get a smartphone, which is what I'm using right now, with my Xbox headset plugged into it. So I tell you what, we're growing.
Oh, yay. Oh man, it's interesting. When you say it, you're using the phone, and you started using the phone more or less to get here. I didn't have a smartphone until about 3 months ago. I was dragged kicking and screaming into the 20th century a while back. Is I had a landline until, oh Christ, let me think about this, until 2017. When I moved here, I think it was December 17, I would have ended up paying $100 just for a landline. And I said, no, screw that. I had my little flip phone. This little guy, looks like Captain Kirk's communicator there. So I used that for a while, and then I got one of the government smartphones. The stuff they call Obama, which was really started by I think Reagan, of all people. It was not Reagan, it was Bush. So yeah, it's I've been desktops for years and years and years and years. So it's so interesting when I see the number of people that are on landlines. I'm sorry, that are on phones, which I had never considered. I had never considered using a telephone to get on the internet until just recently. Oh, look, over on the side, Tria's house still has a landline. Angie still has a landline. Mark is still yet to be dragged into the 21st century. Okay. Nice. Now, one of the things I wanted to do was see if we couldn't really let people know the severity of the situation here. I remember the day your car died because you had come on to, was it one of the live streams or was it one of the group DMs, and said, damn, my car died and I'm going to have to walk to work. And
I think it was one of the group DMs.
We had thought that it was a 2.5 hour walk for you. Here it turned out to be more like 90 minutes.
Yeah. Well, the confusion there was like I tweeted, well, I got to get ready for work, and then I didn't tweet anything until I was settled in at work at about for about 15 minutes. So it seemed like a long time, but the actual walk is about an hour and 20 minutes, actually. And I did it on one of those hottest during the heat wave.
Yeah, and we were worried. We were absolutely concerned that you were going to live to get to freaking work, let alone, just the walking, that whole sort of thing. And of course, let's remember now, that's in the summer, that's in the heat wave. What are your winters like?
It's Iowa. I mean, last winter, I actually missed a couple of days of work because the snow in the street, and this was before the plows came through, of course, but they plow the main roads first, and I have to actually get to work at 11. So there probably wasn't going to be any plows, at least in our area, until at least 5 or 6 in the morning at best, probably 7 or 8. And the snow was deeper than, the distance between the bottom of my car and the street. So you literally could not drive through it unless you had, like 4-wheeled truck.
Okay.
And yeah, it was insane. We get some awful winters. Last winter it did get down to like 40 below real temperature, Fahrenheit.
Yeah. Well, of course, that's the equivalence point for any of you guys out there who don't know. 40 Fahrenheit and 40 centigrade, minus 40, I should say, Fahrenheit and minus 40 centigrade are exactly the same temperature. And they're cold.
Mhm.
Let's just
Damn
face
cold.
it, not fun to walk through that shit.
I think it actually did get to negative 48.50 with the wind chill. But I mean, it did dip down. At least one night, it did dip down to negative 40 real temperature. It was negative 20s and up to negative 30s for a good stretch of that winter.
Yeah, that is something I am not accustomed to. I've lived in the Great Lakes region all of my life. I grew up in Cleveland. I live in Pittsburgh now. We have not had temperatures like that. I mean, the worst I know of was the couple of years I was homeless. There were a couple of winters that got down to minus 10. I could not imagine minus 40, let alone walking anywhere in minus 40.
Mm.
So, Kate says, I live in Southern California for a reason. Yes, indeed, indeed. Welcome, Kate. Glad to have you. If you don't mind, I'll throw you a link a little bit later. Because this show, by the way, kids, is a 2-hour show.
Oh boy.
It's time. Well, that's one of the things. It's usually an hour show, and then I have an after show. But what we're going to do is kind of run the show and the after show into each other.
Cool.
Minds, and take the load off you, so you don't have to keep talking and all that other happy stuff. It's there was also some mention that day of a little something that went pear-shaped on you. If you had tried to get a motor vehicle, had you not?
Indeed, I did. Actually, I mean, we actually had it, but it was a 1998 Neon in terrible shape, and it's pretty much dead now. It's I mean that's what died. So and it was like my last $400 to try to afford a vehicle with. So, and the thing is, around here it's like, sure, you can find used vehicles, usually personally sold, never a dealer, for $400 or $500, but you're always going to get burned. It's always a piece of crap that you're going to have to sink another $1,000 or $2,000 in just to repair if you're going to get anything out of it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I didn't have that. I was desperate for a car, and it was the best I could do, and I got maybe a month and a half out of it. And
is that the one the brakes went on?
Yeah.
Okay. And is that also the one where there was a little bit of trouble in transferring title?
Yeah, that was a whole kind of personal fiasco that ultimately got worked out, but I mean, the main issue was I wasn't going to get my money back. And I was just rendered carless.
Okay. Oh, we have a little bit of a question here from Mark Caesar.
I'm actually trying to figure out how to post a link to the PayPal. I got one on my YouTube channel.
Okay, you do have a YouTube channel. I couldn't remember whether you did or not.
Yeah. And I'm not a content creator, so there's not much there, but I do have links there.
Yeah, let me see. Is it
God bless
Doc
it.
Fearsome?
Yeah. Pretty much just like my chat name. So.
All right. Oh, there it is. Is this the
Share.
one with the if you fall, I'll be there, says the ground?
Yep.
All righty then.
That's me.
Okay. What I will do is, where do you have these links? Is it in about?
Yeah, and it should be right on there should be the little tags right there on the thing, but yeah, I think it's in the about section.
Oh, here we are. GoFundMe, PayPal. Okay, fine.
Yep.
What we will do is grab this and
See, with computers you can do that.
yeah, it's not so easy with the phones. Yeah.
I've been trying to figure it out here.
Okay, what I'm going to do is drop this in. I know we're here somewhere. Okay. Doc's channel. Oh my, oh my, oh my. There we are. There's a link to Doc's channel. Now, on the about page of that channel is the GoFundMe and the PayPal for those who would like to avail themselves of that. That would be great. Yeah, you can. So you don't mind, Doc, using PayPal or the GoFundMe that is already set up.
Yep, either works. It
Okay.
with the GoFundMe, you can go on there and see the total and the goal.
Yeah.
But it yeah, it's no problem. We will just mentally calculate, add the PayPal to the total. So.
Oh yay!
That shall be no problem.
As of the moment here, we have $445 out of a goal of $3,500. That's from 15 people over the last 12 days. So it would be kind of nice. Really, it would be kind of nice if we could pick up the pace a little bit. Now, here's the thing. Please, everybody, understand that we're not trying to shame anybody into guilt, into giving. We're not trying to guilt anybody into giving. We know that everybody's got a hard time, some harder than others. So if you've got it, if you can manage it, and if you want to, please do. If you need it for breakfast before you need it for a donation, please opt for breakfast. I'm sure you agree, right, Doc?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Please don't put yourself out on my account. I really appreciate, just a few bucks here and there. By no means do I want anyone to compromise of themselves.
Now, what is the deal, though, as far as you do have a car in mind, right?
I've actually already put $200 down of my own money down on it. And
now what's that going to get you?
Sorry?
What's that 200 going to get you? Do I understand that you're reserving it for a period?
Pretty much they're hanging on to it for me for 2 weeks, which will pretty much be up here, I guess, in I'm thinking tomorrow, basically. Monday.
Oh my, wow. Okay, I thought there was a little extra time beyond that.
Well, I can put down more money and they will hold it for longer. I've been in contact with the gentleman that I made the arrangements with, and he's fully aware of the situation. He knows I'm trying to get the money, so he's being very patient and awesome with me. And he said I can pretty much hold it as long as I need to, I think so.
Okay, now I'm just curious out of this. That 200 you put down, and if you put any more on it, is that going to be applied to the ultimate payment? Do you know?
Ultimately, yeah. I mean, he said he'll give it back. So, um, pretty much as I understand it, when I purchase the vehicle, I'll be able to apply it to the balance. So it'll shave a little cost off of it.
Okay, that's great. Because yeah, the last thing I would want is that you end up paying more and more and more for the car, as far as the time you need to get the money together and everything. Now, out of the curiosity, um, is there any possibility of a loan? If there's, if we don't get enough together, if we can use this as a down payment, but how difficult will it be for you to get that loan?
My credit is crap, so I don't think I would be able to get a loan on my own. Or at least I have very little confidence of doing so. I might have a couple avenues I can explore, but nothing I could really count on.
Okay, so yeah, this is a reason, kids, that it would really be a good idea if we could get as much together as possible. I mean, it would be great if by 3 a.m. Monday, in my time, Eastern Standard or Eastern Daylight Time, we could have the entire cost of the car together. I don't know that we'll make it or not, but let's get as close as we can, please. Because this is Doc is a big sweetie. He really is. He's I would call you a pillar of this community. Really, I would.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Oh, come on. Really. I mean, your face isn't out there at all times, at all places, but without you, we really would not be the same. And
Oh.
This is one of the reasons that it's a really good thing to give Doc the hand. I mean, not only not only this way, but I mean in any way that we could. Were it not this, were it something else, still the same thing. I experienced a great outpouring of support back in February when I announced that I had been diagnosed with some rather severe medical problems. And who am I, really, that everyone should give me all their support if they do not give others that same sort of support? So come on, as far as that, yeah, keep that in mind as far as that goes. We're not talking about a grifter here. We're not talking about problem person. Doc is a big sweetie, and as Nerdy says, Doc is a patron for like everyone. Okay, Robert, you're asking what is on second place. How is that? I'm just curious. Are you talking about the show that comes after this one, or are you talking about something else? Let's. What do we have here? More Star Wars made by Disney. Yeah. Hang on, Kate. Let's see if we can't. What's the word I have for it here? perk things up a little bit. Not that I'm giving you a hard time, Doc, but maybe if the two of us gang up on you, we can make the show even more fun, right?
Oh dear.
Yay. Alrighty here. Kate's a fixture here, as probably everybody knows, and I love having her around, as everybody knows. Shut up, Clarion.
Oh, come on. Who doesn't really? How could you not?
Yeah, she's amazing. She really is. I mean, in all seriousness, Kate is another pillar of this community. Without her, we would not be the same. And she's going to give me a hard time about that, but shut up. That's the case. Okay, really it is. What do we have here? There we go. Look at that, will you? And if, my dear, you would be so kind as to have a look in your DM, if you feel like it, come on over and give Doc a hard time along with me. And okay, what do we have going on here?
I can't promise I won't completely fangirl because I am a big fan of Bionic Dance.
Okay, let's have a competition here to see who's the biggest fan, right, Doc?
I don't know. I'm not much of a competitor. I'm a fan.
Oh man, there is no reason to not be a fan of Kate's. Really, there is no reason.
I am so digging the animation. I want to so badly to be an animator myself. I wanted to do comics at some point in my life, and now that we're in the 21st century, it'd be cool to just advance right to pretty much video comics or pretty much animation. It's like she's living a dream of mine, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. I'm typing here some stuffs and stuff and things and stuff. Okay, fundraiser for Doc. There you go. Oh man, no, Robert, you don't want to say you're more of a Star Trek fan. You'll be into a lot of trouble in that case.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Kate and I had a big discussion about that about a year ago.
You want to know what? I am a huge Star Trek fan, and I am a huge Star Wars fan. I am a huge sci-fi fan. I don't necessarily like everything sci-fi turds out, but it's like with anything, there are a few winners and a whole lot of losers, but I do not see any reason not to love both of those equally. I don't get in on the Trek versus Wars shtick, the debacle.
Mm-hmm.
So
you want to talk about science fiction? I don't know how long it's going to take me to get into this. I may read the other book first, or I may read two books in concert as a birthday present this year. Oh, yay. Hey!
Greetings, programs. How are you?
Oh,
yeah.
Dad, how is you? Yay. I was just...
not as tired as one would expect for this day or this time of day on a Sunday.
Yay! It's not as tired is a good thing. We were talking about the science fiction, and I was just, whenever I get around to soon, I hope, by our own R.J. Downard is this takeoff on Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne. So at some point I'll get into reading that, or is it that I'm gonna? Where the hell am I? I may read this first, covering the reptile mammal transition. Okay, enough of that. How is you, sweetness?
Oh, I'm assuming you mean me. Well, I mean, life has been life lately. There's not a whole lot to report. I got LASIK done a few weeks ago.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that was a bit of an adventure because my eyes were really dried out because I was using a fan to cool myself off because it's really roasty here. And of course, air blowing on your eyes dries them out. So I had to get eye drops, and only one brand of eye drops was actually working, and it's not over the counter. And so eventually I decided to go out and buy a really expensive AC unit, which is helping keep me not as roasty without a fan being like blowing right directly at me. And so, yeah, but my eyes are good. And so, yeah.
Yay.
I mean, I don't like, there's some other stuff I could mention, but I don't want to steal the show yet. So,
Okay. Well, we're on until 2, or is it 2:30? I forget, Eastern. Yeah, these shows are a little bit longer than normal because they're part of a relay. After
a relay? What do you mean a relay?
we're going one show to another show to another show. I'm kicking this whole fundraiser thing off.
Oh,
After me comes Neil the 604 Atheist.
so fundraisers are going to other channels too.
Yeah, this is going to be about 13 hours worth by the time we get through with it.
Okay.
So we're hoping to get Doc a bit of a largesse here and give him a hand with stuff he's dealing with right now, and get him a motor vehicle, get him to and from work without freezing in winter, without soaking in thunderstorms and stuff like that. And hopefully it'll be a good thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how much do we need to raise here?
Okay, the goal is 3,500, and so far we have. Let's see. Let me refresh this page. I have to figure out a way to get. Oh my word! Yay! We now have $460. I want to thank the people who just donated. Thank you, Mr. Nielsen, and thank you a couple other people who may or may not want to be publicly known. But thank you, everybody. This is beautiful. Yeah, so we're not $5 away from the goal or anything, but hopefully we will get there.
So
Well, and
a total though. What's the total goal necessary? What's the target?
Target is $3,500.
Okay.
Yeah, that would cover the automobile, extra charges, tax, title, registration, all that heavy shit.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will be happy to tell you it's the actual price for the car is $25, and I'm just asking for the extra for like the registration, taxes, and whatnot. But hey, if we hit 25, I have the car. So
it's funny
I know
when you said
if I have.
Well, when you said the actual price, what I pictured in my head was Bob Barker, actual retail price. I don't know why, that's just the way you said it. That's what popped into my head.
It's an actual retail price of $2,500.
And get your pet spayed and neutered, please.
Right.
And get your brother spayed and neutered.
Tria has a suggestion for you, Doc. She says check PayPal.
Yes, I was going to mention that as well. Mark Caesar, thank you very much. He contributed another donation, and I think we're up to 132 on that.
Yay!
Added to the, what is it? You said 460 on.
Is it 460 or 465? Let me look.
I have to flip back and forth here on my
460.
phone.
I wish I had some way to display this on the chat thing I have going on here, but no, this is
Like
my
a
spare.
running total.
Yeah, this is my spare tire here, and there's really no way I can fool around with it, unfortunately. So, guess we're just going to have to deal with this. But yeah, it's too bad that this. What's the word I'm looking for? Came before I could get Google Meet and YouTube running all at the same time, and thus use OBS. But hey, you know what are you going to do? Let's get the job done with what we've got. Let's do that.
Yeah, this weird StreamYard thing you're using. It's I find myself quite offended that it looks like vertical video. But
Yeah,
I wonder, like if we get 4 people, will it split into quadrants of 4?
Yes, it will. Yes, if we
Okay.
get another person in here, and then if we get 6 in, it'll be 2 columns of 3. Yeah, it just decides, I guess, on a most efficient basis or something like that, the way it wants to split the screen. No, hopefully next week I'll be sort of back to normal, and we can just go from there.
Normal.
Yeah, I know. I said normal, and that doesn't work with me. You know it doesn't work with me.
I started using the term usual.
There we go. That's the way.
Yeah.
I like that. That's the way it is. August 4th, 2019. This is the Coffee with Lavender. Good morning. No, Walter Cronkite, I'm not. But, okay, Robert X, when will the fundraiser close? Asking because I don't have money now, but next week this might change. Doc, you're going to leave this open for quite a while, are you not?
Pretty much until the goal is reached, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, unless it drags on for like, months and months or whatever, and I've got the car. Actually, let me put it this way. Pretty much once I have the car and I'm able to cover the additional expenses, I mean, I'll probably end it around there. So,
Okay.
Well, okay, I wasn't necessarily going to bring this up, but I'm actually in the market for some wheels myself. Now, Mark Caesar was asking in the chat, how long will it be until I'm driving? Soon, like a month or 2, soon.
Hey.
And the main reason I'm not going to donate my own darn self is, like I said, I need my own wheels. I'm probably going to get something 2-wheeled. I'm looking at a Honda Silverwing, which is technically a scooter, but the guys reviewing it were like, this is a fucking motorcycle. It may look like a scooter, but this is a motorcycle. It looks really cool. It's got tons of storage space. It's highway legal. It's just what I need. So.
Well, this is what we were talking about earlier. We know that everybody has priorities, and sometimes the priorities other than this particular fundraiser are high enough to eclipse it. So please don't feel bad, really.
And I might be able to afford it out of pocket, but I'm also looking at maybe getting a loan instead, just because I want to leave myself that cushion,
Yes. And if you could get the loan cheap enough, then that may definitely be the way to go. Because we know that you're not in 7 figures monthly. As far as YouTube goes, nobody is. Yes.
Yeah.
Another thing.
YouTube is demonetizing automatically every video I upload.
I was just going to bring that up, so go for it.
And the way that they told me it works is if you have more than 10,000 subscribers, you don't need the prerequisite of 1,000 views within a week to have a video reviewed, right? To have it manually reviewed to see whether it can be acceptable. you can actually just leave it unlisted and they will get to it within a day or two. My most recent video was supposed to be out yesterday, but they didn't review it in time. And so it's going to be out today at 4 p.m. Pacific time. But they did have to review it first because, like I say, everything I upload demonetized instantly. And I don't know if you've seen one of Mr. Atheist's most recent videos, but he was talking about some experiments he ran where the word atheist is a trigger.
Yeah.
Like, you
yeah.
don't include the word atheist, your video won't be demonetized. And it's just such bullshit. It really is.
Yeah. Well, you were mentioning that the word lesbian is another trigger. And then, you know, I mean, what are you about, Kate? But, you know,
so, I mean, it's
almost as if they don't like you.
Yeah, you'd think. So that's definitely been a problem on my revenue stream. Although I have noticed that, yes, I earn a lot more from ad revenue if I wait, if I'm patient and have them pre-approve my video. That definitely has a real effect.
Well, yeah, the ad revenue is very likely going to be greatest in that first, 72 or 80 hours or something like that, is it not?
Yeah, but I mean, even with that, I'm probably still lucky to crack $100 in YouTube money per month.
Oh, right. Because
whereas like Patreon is often around 1,000.
Yeah, and this is what I was mentioning yesterday, that your YouTube is about 10% of your other income. So, but still, the demonetization is problematic.
It's bullshit is what it is. And I've been bitching at YouTube for a while. Could you, like I'm saying to them, could you at least give us some sort of report on the video saying this was the word that triggered us, or this was the time code in the video that triggered us? Give us something so that we can avoid it in the future if it becomes necessary. And they keep saying, no, we can't do that. No, we can't do that. Where did Doc
my God! Yeah, Doc just fell off. Let me look at. He may have had a problem. Let me. May have had a problem with his phone. He's connecting via phone. I am positive that he did not fall away because he doesn't like you.
Wow.
I think he and I are having a competition as to who's fangirling over you more.
Well, still. But yeah, so Patreon is the way to go if you want to make money off of YouTube. It's really the only thing. I mean, I think the only people making ad revenue are people with hundreds of thousands of subscribers.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello.
Sweetness, did your phone burp?
I don't know what happened. All of a sudden it just like shut down. My phone is getting rather hot because I'm running multiple things here.
I blame Trump.
I do too.
Okay, the one private chat, I'm backstage. Can y'all hear me? That's what you just put in?
Yep, that's what I just typed in. Y'all figured it out just before I could even finish it. So
okay, what's really nice about this is that at least it shows you that somebody is in the foyer.
Yup.
And it's saying, okay, there's somebody there, let this guy in, or whatever the hell, one of those deals. So, stuff and things. Where the hell were we?
Well, I
Earth, welcome.
Pretty much done talking about YouTube monetization myself, so.
I'll tell you, this is one of the reasons I don't mind not being monetized. Well, I don't qualify for monetization anyway.
Well, but I mean, as much as it's a pain in the ass, it's still dough.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's what I was headed for. Yeah, there are a couple of people who put out videos, at least one of them rather recently, within the last couple of weeks, describing what they get for YouTube money. And yeah, you see a couple of people talking about, say 20 grand a year or something like that, but their videos have a couple million views each.
Mm-hmm.
And, sorry to say, Kate, but even you're not there yet.
Well, yeah. Sorry to say, I've been around way too long to have this few subscribers, and it sometimes stresses me a little.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I get people asking me sometimes, why is your channel so small? Your videos kick ass. I don't know. I don't know if it's just the algorithm hates me, or some people just plain don't like me, or what. I don't know. But I mean, I feel like I should have more subscribers. I don't know what's up.
I feel like you should have more subscribers. No, your shit kicks ass. Really, it does. And I cannot necessarily say that it's the type of content. In other words, it's too serious or something like that. Because there are people who are serious. Say again?
I said, when have I ever been serious?
Yeah, there you go. But in other words, okay, your content is not all fluff.
Although fluff sells on YouTube.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, if you had fluff, you would possibly, not necessarily, but possibly have a lot more subscribers, a lot more views, but you wouldn't be you.
I have to admit, okay, someone in the chat there is saying, like, never heard of you until today. You're not being recommended. And, well, yeah. But, I mean, I remember being super disappointed when I went to Faithless Forum and Rationality Rules had never heard of me. And I was like, dude. And I have to admit, I mean, there are times I feel a little snubbed by the rest of the atheist community on YouTube. I mean, there are people who have like guests on their show all the time. And I'm like, where the hell am I? You know?
I mean, you have to put up with being on my show.
Well,
you deserve
seriously though, like you'll get certain people, and I probably shouldn't name names, but they're fairly prominent. And I see them like, here's my video featuring this person, here's my hangout featuring that person. I'm like, dude. I mean, I was at again Faithless Forum, and I had Aaron Ra ask me, why aren't you on any of the panels? And I'm like, I was never asked. And he acted offended. He was like, oh my fucking God, you're going to be on a panel at some point if I have anything to say about it. Aaron Ra's awesome, by the way, if you didn't know. Right?
Oh, he's an absolute sweetie. I love that man.
I'm just thinking, like, what the fuck? I mean, somehow I'm just not like I'm not getting out there in any way that I haven't done. You know what I mean? I mean, I can post my videos everywhere, and it doesn't seem to matter.
You know, it's I have no idea why you're not a staple of the community. I don't know. I'm going to have to threaten to show up on people's shows until they let you on, just to get rid of me. Oh Lord! But oh my God, Aaron had nothing but good things to say about you when we saw each other at the protest.
Yeah, Aaron Ra's awesome. That's all there is to it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, sure, he kind of looks like Genghis Khan had a bastard love child with a Klingon, but you know, don't let that make you go, oh my gosh, this guy's scary. He's one of the nicest people you'll ever meet.
Yeah, it was amazing at Jim Hilton's house. He and several other people were around the table out on the porch, and of course I'm part of this, and they're talking to me, especially Aaron is talking to me as an equal. And I'm thinking, who the hell am I that you're talking to me as an equal?
Well, but that's the thing, though, is what people don't seem to get is we're just folks. You know, I mean, like the number of people who acted all starstruck at Faithless Forum, I'm like, no, 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 don't treat me like that. I'm just one of you. I really am. And it's hard to break through that sometimes, is like people treating you like a star, and I don't think that we are, you know? I mean,
Well, I know I'm not, but
well,
you,
no,
another story.
no, but seriously, I mean, I like meeting people and just getting them to realize I can just be your friend. You know, there's something great about that, about letting them know, yeah, we are equals. The only difference is that I make videos. That's the only difference.
Mm-hmm,
You
mm-hmm,
know,
mm-hmm.
it's just it's weird. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, and I really do appreciate having you around. It's really a wonderful thing that you would call me friend.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
I mean, why wouldn't I though?
well, I mean that's the whole point. Is when I look at myself, I'm thinking, who the hell am I that she actually wants to hang around with me? But
But we all have those thoughts. Who the hell am I that people actually want to subscribe to my shit and watch it? I mean,
okay,
granted, I do feel like I should have more people subscribe to you, but at the same time, it's like the sincerest form of flattery is having people say, I value you enough to spend time listening to your dumb butt. You know?
okay. Here's the point. We talked about this about a year ago in
Mhm.
a slightly different setting, but what of that?
Okay.
All right. Number one, you're brilliant. Okay, you are definitely no intellectual slouch.
Well, you should hear some people on the comment sections of my videos telling me otherwise, but go on.
Well, they're full of it, and besides, I think they're saying other things. And you have this wonderfully quick wit. It's like that, and amazing stuff that you pick up something and work with it, and immediately there's no stumbling like I'm doing right now. The whole thing's right there.
Well,
Uh,
I mean, okay, I do that on my videos because I make sure to edit all that shit out.
well,
I
you're
don't know
doing this.
about in person.
You do it in person as well. I mean, seriously. And then the other is you are so easy to talk to.
Oh, I'm glad you added those last words.
I mean, really. I mean, we've you and I have had a couple situations where things got a little tense, but even so, um, talking to you is so much easier by light years, by orders of magnitude, than my talking with anyone else. And I think it's those things that really contributed to that situation I should probably not name in full.
Oh.
But I mean, this is the whole thing. You are
I
that.
don't.
Say again.
It's something Robert X just said in the chat. No, I don't think watching vids more than once does anything. Sharing them does stuff, rating them up does stuff, but I'm pretty sure that watching them more than once. I mean, I'm not sure if it keeps track of who has viewed a video,
I think
but
it,
I know that if I view my own videos, it doesn't bump the view count up by one. So I don't
right. Well, that's might be because it does check for the ownership and
know.
doesn't bump the owner.
I do suspect that somehow it keeps track of this is a video you've already watched. I'm not bumping the count up again. I think.
For at least some period of time. It may not keep that forever, but yeah, for some period, it's yeah. I know this person. We're not bumping. We're not bumping that person in again.
You ever like stop and wonder about like the huge bank of computers they must have somewhere that keeps like all of our videos stored, all of our comments stored, all of this data. I mean, I'm trying to picture what that must look like. Some like super cooled basement full of PCs somewhere, or some big vast gigantic computer mainframe looking thing, like something out of one of those movies with old bunkers where experiments go wrong, those sorts of things.
Yeah, and
I just don't know what to picture.
it is amazing. You've got YouTube, you've got Twitter, you've got Farce Book that's
Daily
saved.
Motion.
Say again?
Daily Motion. It's that YouTube wannabe site.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
these things that save stuff for freaking ever. Eventually, the information density, and shut up, Ken Ham. You're not going to get into the information bullshit. The density is going to be so great that the systems used to store it are going to collapse on themselves. They're going to have a black hole.
Well, I mean, even something like Google Earth, like how you can get Google Street View, where so much of the planet is just something you can view, where like they send those cars around with the fucked up like camera on top that takes 360 photos all the time.
Yeah,
I'm just sitting here thinking, like, just that sheer database alone has got to be so freaking massive.
Yeah, at least there, however, I believe they replace as they upgrade. So if they shot a picture of this particular street, this particular corner, when they updated it next, the old one would go.
But even if they only did it once, they have so much of the earth, like pretty much the entirety of the United States, with the exception of certain like dirt roads out in the middle of frickin' nowhere. They have most of the United States mapped in picture form.
Yes.
I mean, you could probably go from like Maine to California, just like constantly clicking forward on the highway, and get there without any interruptions. And it's just insane. And that's just the United States. They have like all of the UK. They have pretty much all of Japan. They have large bits of Russia. And I mean, like how do they even freaking do this all?
Yeah. Okay, we're still at $460 out of $3,500 raised by 17 people in 12 days. I mean, we've still got some hours ahead of us, but not that bad right now. Let's see, who have we got talking in here? Let's see if we can convince them to part with some of their dollars. Thanks, Angie. Thank you for putting up the GoFundMe. I was just about to do that. Thank you. And let me, well, not yet. It's about an hour to go. I'm not going to give people an escape hatch too early. Neil, the 604 Atheist, is coming up eventually. Let me, Angie, is Neil starting in an hour or an hour and a half? Okay, including PayPal, we're up to $5.92. That's not bad. Actually, it's really not. Not the best, but still not bad. Let me have a look here.
If I may interject for a second,
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to say I cannot watch the YouTube and the side chat right now. My phone is like having boggy issues with what I got up right now, so I had to close the YouTube. So I don't know what's happening in the side chat.
Well, if you close the YouTube but have the side chat popped out, you can still do the chat without the video playing.
Oh, maybe I can try that.
Because it does have a pop-out function. There have been times when like I get into a stream and I'm like, I don't necessarily want to hit pause or mute, so I'll just close the window and keep the chat open.
Alrighty then, we can, excuse me, we can take a shot at that. And okay, I'm having a hard time getting to the schedule because the stuff kind of froze here. Okay, 1 hour to Neil. Alrighty then. In a little bit, then I'll put his URL up. Maybe in another 50 minutes, and we can just go there and switch over because I will fall out of the sky just before Neil starts up. Oh my! Am I putting Kate to sleep?
No, it's early on Sunday.
Okay then. I'm trying. I really am. I guess I could move it another hour if you really insisted.
Well, at some point, I should probably also have that whole breakfast thing I've read so much about.
Oh man, I'm still not accustomed to that. I still don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, when I was still having the seizures, my diet was very limited because there were so many things I couldn't eat because so many things had stuff in it that would trigger a seizure. Now that I can eat whatever the hell I like, I'm not sure what I like anymore. You know, I mean, I go into the store and I look at all those shelves and I'm like, what here is good anymore? I haven't like I've spent almost a decade not able to have variety, and now it's like being overwhelmed by variety, and I don't know what to even try. Like, I don't know.
Oh man, I would love to make you a chicken paprikash for breakfast, but
Chicken what now?
Are you familiar with Eastern European cooking at all?
Not really.
Okay. Picture this: Sicily, 1921. No,
Okay.
that's another show.
Yeah.
Dismember a chicken, and into a stock pot goes the chicken. A roughly chopped couple of onions.
How much of the chicken? Which bits of the chicken?
Well, when you buy a fryer, just dismember that into the legs, the thighs, split the breast, throw the wings in there. You're not putting the entrails in or anything like that.
Or the feet?
No feet.
Okay.
No, that's another part of Eastern European cooking, but not this part.
Oh.
But you'll saute that stuff with the onion, the shitload of paprika, which very likely you can now have, and just get that going and slowly saute it. While you're doing that, do you know about drop dumplings?
No.
They flour and egg and water and baking powder, and you make a sort of a soft dough out of that, and then take bits and pieces and drop that into boiling water, almost like making bagels in a way. But
Okay.
get those going in the dumplings while you've got that going, and you're fishing them out of the water as they get done. The chicken's almost done, so you take that out of the pot and set it aside temporarily. And in the stock pot, there is the onion and the paprika and a bunch of juices that came off the chicken and everything. Now, most recipes that you'll find online tell you to add a half cup of sour cream. They're full of bullshit. 2 pounds.
Okay, see, I'm not a fan of sour cream.
Oh man, okay. I can't make it for you, damn it. Oh well.
Well, here's a question though. Have you ever just sort of cringed a little at the word dumpling?
I admit I have.
Strangely enough, no.
Well, because every time I hear that, my thought is like, okay, I'm dropping a deuce. I'm gonna have some dumplings.
Okay.
I gotta flush my dumplings.
Never thought of it that way, but you've got a point.
Since childhood, that's what's gone through my brain. Is a dumpling is something to be flushed. So,
well, admittedly, Kate, dumplings are far preferable to Klingons.
True.
Yeah, they are not bad, Doc. Not bad at all.
Yeah,
I'll finish it up really quickly. You have that sauce going now. I mean, you can reduce the amount of sour cream that goes in there. I mean, I'm the one who puts a quart of sour cream in there. Most of the people who have had my stuff sing its praises, but then again, they like sour cream. They are not people who don't like sour cream. Get that stirred up, finish the chicken cooking in it, and then put the dumplings on a plate, put a piece or so of the chicken on the dumplings, ladle the sauce over it, eat. It's a heart attack on wheels. It will kill you, but you die happy. I mean, the cholesterol count on that thing is like through the roof.
Well, I mean, part of the problem is that when I go to the supermarket, I want to buy some food, but all they have are ingredients.
Okay, I get you.
I mean, like I should look up recipes or something so I can actually prepare dishes. Because about all I do when I make dishes is stir fry, because it's simple, you know. Like it's just you fry up a bunch of shit while either the rice or the pasta is cooking, and throw it all in and mix it up, and there you have a pretty fast meal. But I need something else, you know. Well, I mean, since I've moved into in fact, I'm trying to remember the last time I actually used an oven. Could have been around 2000. I haven't baked anything in I don't know how long. And I'm almost afraid to try to use my oven because it's been so long. There's probably something caked on it that'll catch fire. I don't know.
Oh, right? Man. Okay.
I mean, I don't know if my oven even functions. And I know I don't have pot holders. So, I mean, like I actually like meatloaf as long as it's plain, like doesn't have chunks of stuff in it. Just like a big old loaf of meat, literally. I enjoy that. You know, sometimes people will throw weird shit in there, so you cut it, and there's like this little circle of something.
Yes.
I like it when it's not that, when those aren't there. You know what I mean?
You don't go for the hard-boiled egg stuffed in the middle of it.
Oh, look at that. Ew. No. But so I do like that. I also like just a beef casserole of some sort. And I don't know. I mean, I like that stuff. I don't know how to make any of it though, because I haven't baked anything besides like biscuits. And even then it was like 2000 that I did that. So
oh man, okay, let me try this on you and see if I could win your heart this way. One of the things that is most requested, or was most requested when my ex and I were still together, was my urban cheddar bread. You up for filled breads?
I'm not sure.
You start making the bread dough. You let it go through its first rise, and then you're rolling it out into that rectangle, getting ready to roll it up and put it in the loaf pans. Before you roll it up, spread paprika, and then you put parsley over the paprika, Parmesan, sprinkle cheddar over that, and then roll that into the loaf, stick that into the thing, let it rise, and then bake that baby. And then, of course,
I don't know how anybody can eat Parmesan. It smells like vomit.
Oh, you can always leave the Parmesan out. There's no problem with that. I mean, it's a minor ingredient. The main ingredient is the cheddar. And then the other one that I'll often do, I shouldn't say often. I haven't baked anything in over a year. I love to make pepperoni bread.
That sounds good.
Yeah, you do. You start the urban cheddar bread, but you deal pepperoni slices onto the thing, sort of almost like if you saw the film Cheaper by the Dozen, the guy dealing slices of meat onto the sandwiches, that sort of thing. Or was that with Six You Get Egg Roll? I forget which. It was a large family movie out of the 60s. and then roll that baby up. And oh yeah, that is another one that I dearly love anyway.
Well, one thing I really, really, really miss, and I only ever saw it on the East Coast, and I think it might be a coastal thing, and there might be health regulations about it, were pizza by the slice places where
yeah.
all the slices are plain, but there's a big old like buffet of toppings where you tell them, I want that topping, that topping, that topping, and they put it on the slices and put those in the oven, and then it comes back out hot.
Yeah.
Here on the West Coast, you can go in and there's a bunch of pre-made slices with the ingredients already on, but you cannot customize the way you could with like Dino's Pizza. That's unfortunately not there anymore. That was totally their thing, was customized slices.
Yeah, my ex would talk about that. She grew up in Northwest New Jersey, Warren County. And there were a lot of that going on, the customizable pizza slices. And the hot dog stands was another one, Nathan's Hot Dogs, that sort of thing. Oh, my word. Purple said we just received another $50 donation.
Oh, right on.
Oh dear.
510 on GoFundMe. This is absolutely wonderful. Yay! All righty.
Mark Caesar, yes, cilantro is nasty.
I haven't done much cooking with cilantro lately. I'm just curious now, Kate. How are you on the cumin relatives? For example, cumin or caraway or fennel.
Fennel's gross, but I don't know about the others. I've never experimented with them. For all I know, I've eaten something that had them and didn't know.
When you were growing up, did they do the rye bread with the caraway seeds?
Well, I don't eat rye bread.
Okay, let's do that.
And I try to avoid pumpernickel too, although pumpernickel is a fun word to say.
Hey, morning, Neil. How you doing? Yay! Hang on a second. Let's split this screen into quadrants.
Oh, get some Neil in here, eh?
Yeah, why not? Because he's going to be on in about 45 minutes. Okay. And then, if we get, no, that's the wrong link, Clarion. You don't want that link. You want the other one. Okay, invite, copy to clipboard, and let's try that again. Yeah, we can manage. Okay. All right, Neil, if you feel like it, come on in. If you don't feel like it, that's okay too, because I know you're up shortly. But we'll just go from there. And how you doing, sweetness? So let me grab the fundraiser page here. Yay. Okay. Yeah, I know the person who donated. Thank you so much, sweetie. Thank you. $50 donation 9 minutes ago. That's beautiful. So let's see, hon, where would that take us total with the PayPal and with the 510 here?
I'm showing 132 PayPal.
So 642. Okay, not too terrible bad. Could be a lot better, but not too terrible bad.
Yeah, we're getting rolling.
Okay, we've got all that. No, we're not going to remove Doc Fearsome from the screen. No, we don't want to do that. Sure thing, Neil. No problem at all. All right. Now in the side we have. See if I can get this pronunciation correct here. Kate, you say your favorite weird word has to be. Is it Widdershins? Is it Bitters? Oh, okay.
It's Widdershins.
I like that word.
It's counterclockwise.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Clockwise is Diosil, or however you pronounce that.
Yeah. and Widdershins is the other way.
Alrighty then.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
my,
I mean,
oh,
it's just a funny word. I like it.
Or Deosil is counterclockwise and Widdershins is clockwise.
I'm
I
sure
forget.
Dio
pretty sure
what?
Widdershins is counterclockwise. Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Wait, Dio who?
Deosil.
Diosil.
It's like
It's the other-
Deosil.
Yeah, it's the other revolution direction. But they both involve which way something revolves.
Okay, I got you now. Okay. Widdershins appears to come from German and Lowland Scottish. And then what else do we have here? One moves Deosil to cast a circle. Oh, they're going under this woo bullshit here, and we're not going to deal with that. But just be interesting to figure out where Deosil came from.
Well, I don't know if you've ever read Discworld, the Discworld series, but it's basically this silly British comedy story about a flat Earth that's literally on elephants and a turtle. That's like the whole thing. And they will talk about like how to get from one city to another by describing like, oh yeah, it's Widdershins of this town. Was part of it. But I mean, it's written by Terry Pratchett, so it's clearly
okay.
You know, I mean, like this is not a flat earther's Bible. This is silly, you know.
Oh man, and yeah, by Pratchett, it has to be good. Yeah.
Well, wouldn't a flat earther's Bible be silly?
Well, okay, this is
I know what you mean.
Silly.
Now
Yeah.
we were just taking on a Orphan Red film on movie night last night. Holy shit! Flat
That was
Earth.
brutal.
Yeah, I mean total flat Earth, and well, she's doing not so much the flat Earth as her front end. Okay, let's just put it that way. I don't think she gets as many views for her front end. As many views for her flat Earth views as for her bust line.
I was trying to explain to somebody about not just flat Earth, but the firmament. What the firmament is supposed to be, allegedly. I think I was explaining it to my dad because he'd never heard of like flat Earth for some reason, despite being raised Catholic, right? And the whole like biblical thing about the firmament. I was trying to explain, no, Dad, seriously, like they believe that there's this dome over the earth that the stars are stuck to. And I had to show him pictures of like, yeah, some people believe this shit. Because I think it was breaking his brain that anyone could even think that. Right?
Well,
and so
yeah.
I had to explain, no, this is a thing.
Well, don't forget now that the Catholics aren't that big on the Bible anyway. Their whole thing is the magisterium, their set of rules.
But even so, just trying to explain, no, people really do think this. What like, and he was like, no one can do that stupid. And I'm like, I wish you were right. But no, some people are that dipshitical that to this day they believe that the stars are stuck to something that like goes over the earth.
And you could actually pull them down and stomp on them.
Ugh,
stupid. I haven't run into any flat earthers in person. I've run into moon landing hoaxers in person, and that's enough to get my gorge rising because let's remember that that anniversary of the first lunar landing is a special day to me. It is also the anniversary of my birth, and that's how I remember and link everything like that. But I'm talking to this guy face to face, and you can't believe that shit. And he's like, of course it's a hoax. And I'm like, ow!
Well, I mean, whenever I hear someone like describe something as a hoax, the one thing I never hear is why. Like,
Yeah.
what was to be gained by hoaxing a moon landing?
Yeah.
Well, like, was it just, oh yeah, America, rah, rah, we're the best. We landed on the moon. Was that it? Or what? You know, like, what does anyone have to gain from like just some of the things that people say are hoaxes? I mean, okay, like I've heard people denying climate change saying, oh, well, the scientists who say climate change is happening get all this money in grants. And so that's why they do it. I'm like, bullshit. They like, there's nobody getting rich off of saying climate change is real. There's people saying getting rich saying it's not, but there is nobody raking in the dough by saying like we're fucking the planet. That just doesn't happen. And so like when I hear about like a moon landing hoax, why? What's to be gained?
I know that okay, when I went back to uni that second time around, it was my intent to get into research, and I was warned over and over, you're not getting into this for the money, right? No, I know better. But you know, they say that you spend more of your time writing grant requests than doing actual experimental work, and then when you do get any grant or anything, it's a pittance. You can barely run your lab on it. And this is what these people have to understand is that, yeah, this is no way to make a grand living. You're doing it because you love to do the research. That's really it. And okay, maybe you're going to make a little bit more than your average greeter at Walmart, but it's certainly not George Soros territory or anything.
Georgia what now?
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Everybody else says Soros. He's the one that was supposedly funding Hillary Clinton and all that bullshit. Big Democratic donor, all that sort of thing. And I'm trying to remember what his nationality was. And his, let me look it up here.
Well, it's hard to picture anybody pointing at Hillary Clinton and saying, oh yeah, she's like totally a climate change warrior.
Oh man. Okay. GeorgeSoros.com. We don't want that one. We want Wikipedia. Hungarian. Okay. That's what I thought, but I wanted to make sure because the Soros would be the pronunciation there. Political involvement. Okay, kids. We're around. Okay. A lot in Central and Eastern Europe. Funding in the former Soviet sphere. Let's see.
Very quickly, just excuse me for a moment. I have to go to the little ghost's room. I'll be back.
Alrighty. Okay, institutions like the Soros Foundation with a cradle of democratization in that neighborhood. Yeah, the right wing does not like him at all. But he's worth many much. He's worth a lot more than I am. Let me tell you that. Well, pretty much everybody's worth a lot more than I am. My net worth is negative.
Yeah, see, that's one of the reasons why I have not started a GoFundMe for my own dough, like for my own ride, my own vehicle, is because I know that I don't need it the way other people do. I would love, I mean, because there's probably someone out there. I've had people send me the weirdest gifts. I'm sure there's someone out there who would send me the money to buy that scooter I'm looking at, but I would feel a little bit guilty taking it because I know I don't need it the way other people do.
Okay. Hi, Neil. How you doing, sweetness?
I just came to the hard realization that I left my lighter inside.
Oops. Okay, you might have to take another trip, and then either that or rub two sticks together.
Okay, I gotta say the angle at which you're filming is a little sick making.
It's like
I
the
don't know,
Blair
there's-
Witch or something.
There's just something about watching the sky doing this as you walk that's just kind of like actually literally making me sick a little.
Oh,
Oh man, and okay, I will say it here. I will say it now. I am horribly jealous of you, Neil, because you've met Kate in person.
That's
Yes.
true. I still have that sticker of yours that you gave me. I haven't decided what to stick it to yet.
Because
we won't take that anywhere.
Well, I mean, that's one of the things is like when I get that vehicle that I want, I do have some decals to put on it, like a companion cube and also a Zapdos. So,
Oh, great.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just curious about this now that you mentioned it, the Zapdos. How many people are going to recognize that? I'm just curious.
I don't know.
Hopefully more than I would guess, but I'd really like that concept to be more popular than it might be. That's the thing, because to be without faith, without religious faith, is a very, very, very good thing as far as I'm concerned.
Well, what's funny to me is how many religious people will insist that the kind of faith they have in a deity is not the belief without proof sort. That's not what they mean when they say faith. And when I ask them, like, do you have evidence for the God you believe in? They say no. I'm like, then what the fuck kind of faith do you have?
Right.
You know, I mean, we can argue about the words all you like, but what I'm describing when I say faith is something you freely admit you're doing. So own it. You know?
Sure. I mean, this is the guy I used to work with. I don't know if you remember. I know that you have been on one of his shows because I have a copy of it on my hard drive. Dr. Jones.
What, DPR?
The New Covenant
Jones?
group.
Oh, New Covenant.
You were on a episode of, I think it was The Place, or was it? It was another one. Cult of Honesty, I think is what it was called.
I do not remember this.
This was a few years ago.
Hmm.
Jones, Greg Brahe was there. Bob Graves. I've gotten my eyes.
Must have been a point where I was still having memory issues from seizures, because there are things that my dad has told me that have happened in my life where I'm like, I remember not even the tiniest bit of that.
Yeah, but the whole bit here is that Jones would give me a very hard time because I lean a pistivist as well. And, you know, how can you do that? Because faith is trust. He's one of these, you have faith that the floor is not going to collapse under you when you step on it. And it's no, sir, that's something else.
Well, and I mean, I've tried to explain to people that trust is earned. That someone, like when I talk about someone as a proven friend, what I'm saying is that they have shown themselves to be reliable.
Yeah.
So I do not have that kind of data for a deity. It doesn't exist. And so when someone says, well, you have to have that kind of trust, I'm like, well, I don't. And with good reason. Because
Sure.
I have not had the same sorts of examples with your God.
Yeah.
And they don't seem to get it.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Okay, Niels, there you go.
And when I talk about how that kind of trust is a virtue, that kind of faith is a virtue, I'm like, would you say that for anything other than your God? That believing in that way, that having that trust in that way, for anything else, is that a valid thing to do? And they'd probably say no.
Well, I even said to these people in so many words, to Dr. Jones, to Bob Graves, to Ozymandias, If somebody tells me to believe what they tell me, what they offer me, simply because they stated it, simply because they told me I should believe it. If I believe that on that account, I have to, by consequence, believe anything anybody tells me to believe simply because they tell me to believe it, including the con man who wants my life savings. And it doesn't work that way with me anyway.
Well, I mean, I've often said that you can prove absolutely anything is true as long as you don't have to show evidence for it.
Yeah.
If all you have are arguments, you can prove any damn thing is true. But that doesn't mean it actually is true.
Yeah, I mean, Neil, where do you stand on this one? I could
right
guess.
Well, first of all, they call it faith because it's not knowledge. You know, I say that every time.
Yes, you do.
And you can believe anything on faith. I can believe, like Dillahunty always used to say, that the universe was started by universe farting fairies if I wanted to. And I can.
Dude, you are super quiet.
Yeah, your volume is way down in the mud, Sweetness.
Is it?
Yeah.
Now it's getting better. Now it's much better.
Now better? Okay.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
There you go. All right. So I was just far away from the microphone. That's all. Like I was saying, you can believe, like Dillahunty says, you can believe anything on faith. You could believe that the universe was started by universe farting fairies, for all we know, right? But believe it 100%, all on faith, and not have to prove anything. And that's just how it is with him. As long as you have the faith, that's all you have. That's all you need.
And what's amazing
faith is dishonesty, in my opinion.
Well, there's the big word. It amazes me that the religious types. Okay, well, I'm going to say this guardedly. Is that an accepted English word? I'm not sure.
Sure.
That the religious types go for that sort of faith when they must realize that is the modus operandi of the con man. Or is it that they know that they're con men and are fine with it?
That is something I've often wondered, is whether they know they're full of shit and don't care. Or do they really genuinely believe it? And that's why they're so like fervent and in your face about it. I don't know, and I don't know how to tell.
There's mine, okay. The guy that you took on as well as me, the Carlo Broussard. I know you went.
Him, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I actually talked to him one-on-one. I called his show and I asked him the question: how do you tell the difference when you look into your book between those words being the word of a God, revealed, and those words being something that came out of the head of the guy who was holding the pen? And he could not answer the question without being circular. And as a matter of fact, he shut my mic off while he was going through the circularity because I think he knew exactly what he was doing. And I've got to finish that out. I do want to make a video out of that because I talked to him last year sometime.
Well, you know that guy who tried to give me the gift certificate, the Kindle gift certificate.
Oh, yeah.
I ended up talking to him again yesterday because like he insisted on a conversation. He actually put the envelope back down again and walked away because I was chatting with someone else. I picked it up and gave it back to him again. And of course, that spawned a conversation. He finally said flat out that there is no possible way I can convince him that a God doesn't exist, that it's just not possible. It's a deal breaker. Nothing will convince him. And so I said to him that basically we're done. There's no point
the argument.
Point. And if he tries to engage me again in conversation, I'm just going to tell him, dude, you are a windmill at which I am no longer inclined to tilt. That's just all there is to it. There is no reason to talk to you if there will be no way to convince you of anything. I'm wasting my time. And I told him the conditions under which I can be convinced his God is real. I've told him what it would take, and it doesn't matter. right? Like he cannot have that back and forth, that give and take. There, he won't give me the same courtesy of what it'll take to shake him loose of his religion.
Yeah, and that was that whole Ham Nye thing,
Yep.
where I think the moderator asked the two of them, "What would it take to get you to change your mind?" And Nye said, "Evidence, of course. Show me why I should, and I will." And Ham is holding up his little book. Nothing is going to change my mind. He just lost the freaking argument.
Yep.
And I do wonder whether Ham, for example, or either Hovind or Comfort actually do believe that stuff. But as you say, there's really no way to tell.
Well, there are certain people where I am willing to grant, like I would say, they are serious, they mean it, I'll roll those dice in Vegas, right? Like Steven Anderson, I'm pretty sure believes his own shit.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But you
Oh,
see
wow,
the way
donations at 642. That's beautiful. Let me see what we've got here. Oh, this is great. Yay, 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 yay.
What happened?
Okay. I guess the total donations are at 642, which is what you and I, Doc, added up a few minutes ago. Yeah. 132 on the
Yeah.
what do you call that thing? PayPal, plus the 510 that we currently have on the GoFundMe. Yeah, so we're doing all right with that stuff. Could be doing a lot better. We will be doing a lot better. We're getting there. I like it.
Well, this shit just started, so I mean,
yeah. Well, that's what Angie had said. I mean, we've been at this for an hour and 45 minutes. So where we've got is not all that bad in that stretch of time. Now, Neil, I'm trying to remember, when is it that you're coming on again? Is it at 2? Oh, I mean, well, your time would be.
It's almost 11 right now, and I start at 11.
Okay, I was just going to say 11. Okay, so while we're at this, I'm going to grab the. I know it's in here somewhere. There it is. I'm going to grab your URL. Please, no one run away right now, but be ready to run.
Yeah, when I start up, yeah. And anyone can jump in if they want. Just let me know.
Oh, wow. Hey, that sounds like fun.
Well, maybe I have breakfast that needs having first. And I've got a few other things like, okay, you know how I've often said that when I was having seizures and I would have weird sort of deja vu-ish memories of places, that they were always centered around places. I don't know why. I found one of them finally. Right? Like it's part of the UVM campus. And I'm like, that's where that took place. I finally found one of those weird memory places. I also realized another one is from a dream that I had decades ago that I'd forgotten was a dream. But it was also an interior, so I never would have found it on Google Earth anyway. But I was tooling around in Google Earth yesterday, and I finally found one of them, and I was really happy. And so I might go looking for more of them. I'm not sure. But yeah, finding one of those was just this moment of I don't know, it's hard to explain, but a vindication maybe. It's like, I think the way it feels, when there's like a TV show or a movie or something, you've got that detective who's been trying to solve a case for ages. Like they never found the murderer or something, and then finally they find that crucial bit of evidence that solves the case. It was like that.
Okay. Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
so I might go looking for more of them in Google Earth VR.
What I'm happy about is this stuff is beginning to fall into place for you. I mean, especially with the memory stuff, it's got to be shit to lose track of your past, to have your past disappear on you.
Yeah. So I mean, Well, you know what's funny is like, Frankie, I don't know how to pronounce his name, whatever, the kid who played Malcolm in
Muniz.
Malcolm in the Middle had some
Frankie
weird,
Muniz?
like some, I don't know, but he had a, like some sort of trauma happen to him, and he does not remember being on Malcolm in the Middle anymore. Like he
Oh,
honestly
boy.
does not remember starring in that show. And he
That's
thinks it's pretty weird to watch it now and to have people say, "Oh, I'm such a fan of something he doesn't remember doing."
Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
And,
Did they say what kind of trauma it was?
What?
Did they say what kind of trauma it was?
I'm sure they did, but I don't remember it. I'd have to look it up again. But yeah, he does not remember it.
I'm reasonably sure that Oliver Sacks has written of a couple of the case histories of the amnesia as well. And if it wasn't Sacks, it was other people that I'd read. And to live in the eternal present, I just can't imagine that, because some of the best parts of my life are the little things that happened half a century ago. I mean, I have my memories of the summer cottage that my grandparents had. I love that place. And when I'm in my bad place, I'll try to go there. But if I couldn't remember that, where would I go?
One thing that's really weird that I've discovered is that a lot of these deja vu feelings can be triggered by weed.
Oh, really?
But some of the edibles that I
Interesting.
was doing like a month or two ago were making me melancholy. Like a lot of the memories were tinged with a kind of sad nostalgia. And like I tried, instead of the edibles, I actually tried vaping weed.
I remember that post, yeah.
And it has helped tremendously because the nostalgia is still there, but it's not sad anymore.
That's cool.
Right. But I mean,
Yeah.
I whenever I go into Google Earth VR looking for these places, it's usually because I've tried like marijuana again. The thing is, I realize that I don't have any pleasant ways to get inebriated anymore. Like alcohol, I don't enjoy. I just don't enjoy being drunk. I'm not sure what
I know the
changed,
feeling.
but I don't want to have booze anymore. And I'm worried that if I try to track down and use some LSD, that it'll fuck with my brain in ways that, like the seizures, like maybe they'll come back. Maybe that will create a trauma that will like start seizures back up again. So I don't want to mess with that.
Okay, yeah.
That's a legitimate fear.
Very.
And so the only thing that's working right now is this. And and medical marijuana was supposed to help with the seizures. It made me feel really funky, and it took a while to get used to it. But yeah, it's just this has been so far the best way I can think of to get like to be transported from reality for a while.
Okay.
Oh,
I don't know if I ever, excuse me, if I ever have the spare cash, maybe if there's the way to get that stuff here in illegal land, I might go for trying that, because here's the thing. I don't think I would want to try smoking marijuana anymore. I quit smoking tomorrow. It's going to be a year. And I would be afraid of hacking my lungs out, number one, or two, going right back to smoking again. Okay. And Clarion does not want to do that. Okay. A year ago, she said, look, it's time. After 49 years of putting that shit in her lungs, it was time to just, no more. And I love it now. It's so nice to be able to say, I don't smoke anymore.
I'm glad that's something I never started. But one thing that surprised me about this, I mean, they call it a vape, but this is smoke. This is definitely not vapor. Right. And so it has taken some getting used to not hack my lungs out doing this.
Now wait a minute. So you're setting it on fire in there as well?
No, but what comes out is definitely not vapor. It like when I inhaled it, it wasn't like inhaling steam. It felt like smoke.
Oh, for fucking shit. That's okay. That's probably something I wouldn't want to do again.
I'm going to duck out and get myself set up for.
Yeah, you're going to set up. Are you going to be up and running in 10 minutes, or should I hang on for another couple minutes?
I should be pretty much up and running in the next 10 minutes for sure. So.
Okay. Do you have a? Or wait a minute. No. Let me hit the thing I have in my own description over here. That's the way we can do it. Okay, open link in new tab. There we go. There we have. I will be looking for you to start, and then I can tell these people to
piss off.
to run west. Yeah,
Okay.
we can do that.
Run west.
And then I will as well, because I'm very likely going to be hanging around for the entirety of this thing.
Okay, so you're going to
Run west. Wouldn't it be more like take off to the Great White North?
Yeah, that too. Neil, you're about 14 degrees north of me. I'm at 40 degrees north. I'm trying to remember where you are.
I'm on the West Coast.
Yeah, but I mean, your latitude, it's what, about 54 or 55 degrees north?
Sure.
I'll look that up someday whenever
I so know just where that is. Not.
I forget where you are, Neil.
I'm north of where you used to live in Seattle. I'm in Vancouver.
Oh, okay. Vancouver's nice. I like Vancouver.
Well, you're always welcome back, man. We'll go and you don't drink. Okay, we'll go for beer, but you don't really drink.
Well, and even when I do have alcohol, beer is not my thing.
Right.
Oh,
I find beer very bitter and gross. Like even the really light stuff where people say this isn't bitter at all. I'm like, yeah, it is. It's like drinking gravel, dude.
well, you amaze me, Kate, in that you find water to be bitter. Now, I'm not saying that that's not real. It's just amazing that you would find water to be bitter. I wonder what the heck goes on to make that happen.
I'm just tasting things other people don't. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, I guarantee you that what's there that makes it bitter is there for everybody else. And you just
they're just not noticing it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Exactly.
that's another reason, like I was saying before, is shopping for groceries is hard. Because there are so many things that are just gross. Like if anyone ever makes a dish with cucumber in it and the peel is still on, what the fuck's wrong with you? That stuff is so gross.
Oh, well, even I taste the bitter in that. Yeah. The difference twixt me and thee is that I like it. I mean, I'm one of those weird people who actually likes the bitter taste.
Ugh,
I like the taste of quinine. Come on.
Like I can do sour, but not bitter.
Okay.
I mean, bitter to me tastes like something that should be spat out. Sour just kind of tastes weird.
I don't ever recall cucumber ever tasting bitter to me, and I'm sure I've eaten like slices with the rind still on it.
Yeah, it's only the peel. I mean, like if I peel a cucumber, I can even just like sit down and eat it like an ear of corn, you know? But with the peel on, it is disgusting.
If you want the most bitter part, get the flour in. Get that end with most of the peel on it, where the flour was. That is probably the most bitter part of the cucumber.
Why would anyone want that?
To know what that bitterness tastes like. You know?
Why would anyone want that?
I have to work with a chemical called Bitrex, and I put it in my
Oh, for the love of Saint
and it's the
Gulick.
world's
Yeah,
most bitter taste, yeah.
Man, that stuff is horrible.
Oh my god, it gets in the air and then it gets
Yes.
stuck in my fucking mustache. Then I eat something and it's like, oh, okay, that doesn't taste good.
How
I believe
anybody
it.
would ever drink gin is beyond me.
Yeah, I'm there with you on that one.
Yeah, well, there's the other one, which demonstrates how weird I am. I actually like gin, that juniper flavor. Yeah.
Ugh. Ugh.
All right,
So gross. You can have my share.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull out of here and get myself set up because I'm now in my room, so I can do it. So.
Okay, sweetie. You be good. Have fun. Be with you in a few minutes.
Now, don't be good. Just don't get caught.
Yeah, yeah. That's yeah, guys. So hop over to look for the stream on my channel, and we'll see you guys in a bit. Bye.
Okay, honey. Take care. Yay, Neil is such a sweetie. God, I loved the one after show where we had Neil, we had you, Frustrated Atheist. Trying to remember who else was there when Darth Dawkins was giving you the hard time. He wanted to debate immediately that afternoon.
That. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, God.
Oh.
That is, I clipped that about a half an hour out of that after show and put it up standalone. And that is my most viewed video to date. It's around 1,000 views.
Well, I mean, I kept telling him, dude, I will debate you in a non-real-time format. I will. And he kept saying, you're unwilling to debate and you're scared. And I'm like, dude, I will debate you in a different format. It's just not the one you prefer.
Yeah. And I mean, just the way you were giving him his what for, and the way you did it just flowed so wonderfully. It's not that way, you stupid piece of shit. It's just a musical. There are many reasons, and that's one of them again.
One thing that I would be like both interested and scared to see is if someone took like clips of my videos and turned them into one of those like weird remix songs where my voice goes up and down unnaturally and all that. you know the ones I'm talking about? I don't know. That must have a real name, but I mean, like, if someone did that, on the one hand, I'd be like, dude, you have way the hell too much time on your hands. But on the other hand, I'd be like, this is kind of flattering. On still a weird third mutant hand, I'd be like, is this music any good? Do I want to listen to me doing some fucked up spoken word thing set to techno music?
I could, yeah, you got me thinking now. The one with Carl Sagan's voice was sampled and set to music. I'd love to do that with you. Oh, my word.
That's the sort of thing I meant. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that is even done exactly. And I've long wanted to find a good music making program where it's just notes on a timeline with different instruments. Because I used to work with this thing back in the old DOS days called mods, if you remember those at all, where you take little digital samples and you can have only 4 of them playing at once. And so I would do like a drum track, a bass track, and a melody track. And I think there was one other, like you can only have 2 drum tracks because like each track was its own instrument. You couldn't mix instruments on the tracks. And I made some really simplistic tunes. And I actually put those on my channel at one point. I don't know if they're still on there. But this dude named Chris Joseph took one of those tunes and made like a more like he gave it more production values, and it's really freaking awesome, right? And I wish I could find a program that did what mods used to do, but like everything I've found that people have described, like, oh yeah, this is similar, and it's not the same, like just notes on a timeline thing, and so I'm disappointed. But I wish I could find that, because I used to make what I thought was decent music at the time. It's probably pretty shitty, but seeing someone else remix it to make something that's really good makes me think maybe I was doing okay.
Oh, yay. Let's see. Okay, we've got that going over there. Yeah. I am going to tell everybody, Neil isn't broadcasting quite yet, but he is going to be broadcasting very soon. So start to migrate your arses over there, and we will continue while you do that, and then we can finally go and do that stuff. Yeah, I didn't do that stuff under DOS. Most of what I was doing when I was running DOS, I was actually disassembling the BIOS of the time and trying to write drivers. And unfortunately, didn't work too well because I started doing that and then quickly ended up divorced. So that kind of put an end to that.
Well, I was a teenager, so I was mostly playing games. But I found Mod Edit. If you've probably never heard of the program called Mod Edit, but it was just another game to play with, really, except I got to be creative.
Sounds like fun. Mod Edit.
Yeah. I mean, I found like some images. Like, gosh, hold on, copy image address. I can put it in the chat. There. But I mean, like I say, it's just notes on a timeline.
Okay, all right, kids. Neil just started broadcasting. I mean, seconds ago. Let's see what we've got going over here. Okay, we've got 5 watching on his program. May I suggest that most of you start wandering over there? I mean, I'm allowed to continue the programming here, but why? Because you guys are probably getting bored with me.
And I do need breakfast.
Okay, then. You gonna come by Neil's place after breakfast if you have the time?
Perhaps. I'd also, like I say, immerse myself in Google Earth VR for a while and see if I can find some more of those places.
Okay, then. Memory serves. Kate, are you following Angie on Twitter?
I don't really read Twitter at all. Like, I look at notifications for stuff I post, but I find the format annoying, and so I don't really use it much.
Okay. Well, Twitter's become a lot more annoying in the past few days, but that's another story entirely.
Yeah, I hate the new interface.
Yeah, because we've got an entire day lined up here of. I know what I can do if you don't mind. I can DM you the schedule if you feel like listening or watching to any of it. That's fine, and if you don't, that's fine too.
Yeah.
See what we've got going over here. If I can find. There it is. Yay. Okay. Yeah. And then, okay. You had better, have some of that breakfasting stuff. How that goes. And I'm going to miss you horribly, but what can I do?
You should work on your aim then.
Shut up, Clarion.
So yeah, I'm gonna go get some of that food stuff we've read so much about.
Okay. And
eating is overrated.
Everybody.
Take care, hon. And okay.
I suppose we should hop on over there.
Yeah, I'm going to start wrapping things up over here. And everybody, we can head over to Neil's place and take it from there. Yeah, I still have 11 watching over here, guys. Get over. Let me put it there again. Okay, I put it over there. It says Neil is over here. Go there, and there's the link. Okay, you really want to do that, okay? Because we're gonna go away, and we're gonna be there too. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for coming by. Thank you, Doc, for being here. Seriously.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for, helping out and everything you guys are doing. I really appreciate it.
Come on, sweetness. I mean, you're worth it. You really are. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And yeah, we can do all that good stuff. So as soon as I find the correct, there it is. I can say, there we go. I can say thanks a lot, troops. See you on the other side.